In Missouri City, it is the very latest. Plus, it's Instagram's turn. The app changing its privacy settings, but will it keep your data safe?
And a chance meeting on an airplane changes the lives of 2 women and a little boy. The news starts right now. We begin with that breaking news. 7 people are hurt after a wreck involving a Fort Bend ISD school bus and an SUV. This is right off of Blue Ridge and Fuquay in Missouri City. Houston firefighters say there were 8 students from Willow Ridge High School on board the bus at the time. 5 of them were hurt and the other 3 were picked up by the school principal. 2 people inside the SUV were also hurt. We're going to continue to follow this story for you and bring you any updates as soon as we get them.
And now a shocking statistic. Around 16,000 kids in Harris County go to school within 1,000 feet of a suspected illegal massage business.
Well, that's what child welfare group Children at Risk says. And David Gonzalez joins us live from Rice Village with more on these statistics that were just released. David.
Rika and Jason, yeah, I'm live here outside of Edgar Allan Poe Elementary School, and this is one of several schools in the Houston area that have been identified as being within 1,000 feet of an suspected illegal massage business. And now Children at Risk wants the community and also law enforcement to get involved to shut them down.
I think seeing that we have schools that are right next to these places or right across the street, to me, that's very scary.
Children at Risk want to make sure children in Texas are safe from what they call human trafficking operations. The organization has identified suspected illegal massage businesses and their proximity to schools. The nonprofit used reviews left on rubmaps.com, a Yelp-style website where customers can leave their reviews to identify the businesses.
What happens is people go to these places and they decide to write a review, and they become very detailed in their reviews, and we're able to use that so we know what's happening at these places.
Children at Risk states Harris County has the largest concentration of suspected illegal massage businesses in the state with 259. Dallas County comes in second with 97. The nonprofit claims 55 Texas schools are within 1,000 feet of one of these businesses. 23 of them are in Harris County. Children at Risk now wants the community's help to push these types of businesses out.
We really want the public to put pressure on law enforcement, to put pressure on public officials to say, I don't want one of these places near my school. I don't want my children walking by these places. Let's shut them down.
And another interesting fact about this whole thing is that they identified these businesses not just based off where they're located near schools, but also what type of neighborhoods they're in. And they're saying that these businesses are not in neighborhoods that you might expect. Actually, they're found in very affluent neighborhoods here in the Houston area. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Well, on to the sex trade in Houston. 122 people, including these men, have been arrested so far in 2018. Investigators say these guys were arrested for either compelling prostitution, pimping another person, or solicitation of prostitution. Houston police say they hope this announcement will help raise awareness about human trafficking and put people on notice that HPD will not tolerate these crimes.
The family of an unarmed man shot and killed by a Harris County Sheriff's deputy has filed a lawsuit against the county. They claim Danny Ray Thomas needed mental help, not a death sentence. Jason Miles is live downtown with details in this case. Hey, Jason.
Hey there, it's been an emotional day down here. Members of the Thomas family joined their attorneys and others to announce a wrongful death lawsuit. Many of them wore T-shirts with Danny Ray Thomas's photo on those shirts. The family now being represented by civil rights attorney Ben Crump, among others. Crump has been involved with similar cases across the country, most notably the recent police-involved shooting out in Sacramento, California. You may recall Danny Ray Thomas was shot and killed last month during a confrontation up in the Greens Point area of Houston. He was seen on video walking toward the deputy who shot him. Danny Ray Thomas having his pants down at the time. His family claims he was having a mental health crisis, partly because of the deaths of 2 of his children back in 2016.
I just want to pretty much say I was robbed. My nieces and my nephews, they were robbed. life would never be the same.
That's Danny Ray Thomas's sister, Marquita. Several members of the family spoke here today. Meanwhile, the Harris County Sheriff's Office not commenting on this pending litigation, but Sheriff Ed Gonzalez has said this shooting will be thoroughly investigated. Meantime, the Thomas family would also like the district attorney to get involved, present this to a grand jury, and possibly result in some criminal charges. I'll have more from the family coming up at 5. Back to you.
All right, Jason, thank you.
And taking a live look outside now, sunny skies, which certainly have looked beautiful, but there's about to be a big change on the way.
Yeah, Dave, I hear a cool down and even some rain, too.
You can feel the changes coming out there. Gusty south wind out there, blowing, gusting to 30 miles an hour at times. We can take a look at our weather book camera here in the Sugar Land area. Methodist Hospital, southeast breeze at 20. It's warmed up too. It's 83. It feels like an essence. The essence of summer is moving in. Look at the winds. These are wind gusts during the past half hour. Houston, Bush Road, Continental, a gust to 31 out of the south. Hobby, a gust to 26. Pearland, a gust to 26. Conroe, a gust to 24. This is bringing in energy that will help to feed thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night that could be severe, especially north of the immediate Houston area. So coming up, what we'll do is outline the severe threats and the timing for tomorrow. Meanwhile, if you're going out this evening, it will be breezy but nice, and then much cooler for the weekend. I'll show you what this means for temperatures and the art car parade on Saturday. That forecast coming up.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, David. Prominent Houston pastor Kirby John Caldwell is free on bond now after surrendering this afternoon in Louisiana. Caldwell and Shreveport financial planner Gregory Smith both pleading not guilty in a federal courtroom there. They're facing charges of wire fraud and money laundering for allegedly defrauding investors of more than $1 million. Court documents claim Caldwell and Smith convinced investors to invest in now worthless Chinese bonds by promising huge returns. Prosecutors say the two used that money to pay off mortgages and car notes and other personal expenses, but Caldwell and his lawyer maintain his innocence.
The grand jury didn't hear the evidence that the trial jury will hear. The grand jury didn't hear from Kirby John Caldwell like the trial jury will hear. So we're looking forward to our day in court when we can actually go forward and present our defense.
Neither Caldwell nor Smith responding to questions, though. The U.S. Attorney's Office declining comment, telling us prosecutors typically don't do that this early in a case. And guilty. Now a federal judge has ordered former Texas Congressman Steve Stockman to be taken into custody after his conviction on fraud and conspiracy charges. He was found guilty today of 23 out of 24 felony charges related to the defrauding of conservative donors. Federal prosecutors say Stockman conspired with staffers to build conservative foundations out of at least $775,000, money which was meant for charitable purposes. Stockman set to be sentenced in August.
Okay, if you work in an office building near Upper Kirby, you'll want to hear this. Police are looking for this man here. He is seen creeping around office buildings in that area. He's targeting women during business hours. Our Marcelino Benito is live with more on what is happening here. Marcelino.
Well, Reiko, we're talking about that building just over my right shoulder, 3701 Kirby. It's actually a very nice office building right here in the Upper Kirby area. Surveillance cameras, though, got a pretty good look at this guy. He was seen trolling up and down floors in this building. Somehow he ended up inside one woman's office. When she confronted him, he said he was looking for a lawyer's office, so the victim tried to help him get there. That's when he stormed into her office and stole her wallet. The woman told us she froze, didn't see if he had a weapon on him. She says her property management company alerted her that this wasn't the first time this exact type of incident has taken place. The victim's husband hopes the surveillance helps bring in the guy who preyed on his wife.
You know, it changes everything as far as when she goes into that office at this point. This week I took her to the office, and I was there in the evenings when she left. Obviously she doesn't feel safe there anymore.
Now, after getting away, that suspect went on a shopping spree. He's seen here at a nearby academy buying Houston sports jerseys. In under an hour, this guy spent more than $3,000. If you recognize him, you're asked to call police right away. Now, coming up at 6, we're going to break down how they believe this woman was specifically targeted inside this office building. Back to you.
Busy guy. Thank you, Marcelino. How's this for a discovery? A car slams into a house, revealing a mini marijuana grow operation inside. That's according to police. Police originally called out to the home near McAvoy Drive overnight for a report of a hit and run, but when they looked inside the house, they found multiple marijuana plants. Police are looking for the driver of the car. That driver ran away. The homeowner wasn't inside either. And when was the last time you were inside an old school baseball card shop? Next, the Astros World Series history you'll find inside for this baseball lover's paradise in Kingwood. Plus, James Harden, his eccentric style on the cover of GQ. It's a look at the photos, which has basketball and its world talking. And a life-changing encounter, why a woman decided to adopt a stranger's baby after sitting next to her on a plane.